I think this bubble is probably going to go higher, but it could peak anytime. I think it's too late for people to jump in. If you'd have got in early, fine. But I do think once it peaks, by the time the tech bubble bursts and bottoms around late 2022, it's going to go down 95%. So if it goes to 300,000, it goes to 15. If it goes to 100,000, it goes to 5. And if it goes to 50 or 60, it goes to recent lows 3 or 4. So that's what I see.
Harry Dent is a US economist and author who writes an economic newsletter reviewing the global economy through demographic trends. Given the rise of Bitcoin since we last spoke, I thought I'd ask for his views on the cryptocurrency that quadrupled in value last year and hit through 40,000 US dollars earlier this year. Harry, welcome back to TCN TV.
Yeah, great to be here.
Now, first off, Harry, let's recap your last predictions. 4 months ago, you told me it was Biden for the win, and you certainly got that right, much to the frustration of all the Trump fans out there. From down under, the US is now looking pretty divided. How do you think Biden's win will work in with your predictions for where financial markets are heading?
Well, the reason I said that, we're in a Democratic era, starting with Obama. The winter season, I call it, started in 2008, goes to 2023. And the crash I'm predicting is the end of that. Most people are going to think it's the beginning, but it's the end. And so Trump was a fluke. He kind of snuck in on a populist thing, and he was very shrewd. I think he ran as a PR stunt and then saw these all-star wrestling fans and how angry they were and realized there was a huge movement and tapped into it. So, but after he was in office, I mean, this is not, things are not going his direction, and he only created a bigger bubble. And so I expect the Democrat to win. And at the same time, I'd say I almost wish I wasn't Biden. That Biden, if I was him, I didn't win, because he's going to have the toughest downturn in history. But the good part, nobody's going to blame him when he walks in as it's just falling apart, as nobody blamed Obama when he walked in when the economy had already fallen apart. So that's the good thing. But man, he's going to have a lot of challenges. They're going to have to restructure the whole banking system. I wanted Elizabeth Warren as his VP because she understands the banking system, and she's kicked, what? I mean, she would have been the best VP, but Kamala is probably going to end up being the first female Black president.
There's certainly some tough ladies. Now, when it comes to the markets, you did tell me last year the bubble will burst and that the sale of a lifetime is coming. Yet we have started the year with pretty upbeat stock markets, and the Democrats really gearing up for more stimulus now. How much longer do you think we should be waiting for this sale, Harry?
Well, I've got this super 90-year cycle, and I'm telling you, if you look at history, it's the cycle for stocks, super bubble, and it's hitting now. But yeah, central banks are fighting it like crazy. They're going to lose this battle. But there's another important cycle that only me and Robert Prechter really know. 20 and 40-year cycles around generation stuff. Those are huge. And all of my key cycles, 90-year, 40-year, 20-year, and a 10-year stock, stocks tend to bottom about every 10, all converge on late 2022. So I think if the later we peak here, the faster the crash. I think it's going to go down. My forecast from the beginning, it would Dow 31,000. Doesn't matter, it's 31 or 35, it goes to 5,000. And so the higher it goes, it still falls that much, 80-some%. And these tech stocks are the Bitcoin and stuff is going to fall 95%. So I think it's peaking. If I had to guess, I'd say mid-February, peak in the first half of this year, because we're in this weird spot where the vaccine is promised, but we're not going to get even close to that being effective until at least fall of next year. And it's way behind schedule already. And the economy failing even after the unbelievable stimulus program. Already the figures keep coming in lower. With that much stimulus, we ought to be growing at 20%. And we're barely growing again. So I think the economy's just going to start failing in the next few months. And then the stock market's going to realize, oops, we're in a bubble, and it'll go down faster than the Fed can print money.
Now, Harry, you mentioned crypto in there. It has been dominating headlines, but you've recently said there's no bigger bubble than Bitcoin, calling it, in fact, the bubble of all bubbles and predicting it will crash by, as you just said, 95% by next year. So how much are you expecting it will go up perhaps before we see that pullback? And really, what's your warning to current and prospective investors of Bitcoin? And there are many of them.
Let me clarify. Yeah, some first. This is an early stage bubble like the .coms and early. You get an early stage bubble and you get a bubble at the end. We're seeing the final great bubble of the internet, which emerged 20 years ago, okay? And while that's happening, the next great technology bubble emerges in its early stages, and it gets all the glow from the present bubble when it doesn't deserve it. It's a 1-year-old baby, you know, getting the glow of the internet at its peak. So that's why you get this early stage bubble. So the early stage bubble, I've been saying we're in the last wave up. Last year, I said it looked like it was going to peak at 32,000 by early 2020. Well, it didn't take off as soon as I thought. Then I said, oh, 34,500 is the current target. It just broke that. It hit that very quickly. My newsletter writers were saying, Harry, what are you smoking? Within 1 month of me saying it's going to 34,500, it took 1 month. People think it's going to take a year or two. And now it's broken above that. So it could go to 100. Actually, on an exponential chart, which is the next thing, it could be 160,000 near term and 300,000. Crypto has been peaking these sharp bubbles every 4 years. And I don't mean every 4 years, in December, every 4 years on a lag to the halving cycle. So I think this bubble is probably going to go higher, but it could peak anytime. I think it's too late for people to jump in. If you'd have got in early, fine. But I do think once it peaks, by the time the tech bubble bursts and bottoms around late 2022, it's going to go down 95%. So if it goes to 300,000, it goes to 15. If it goes to 100,000, it goes to 5. You know, and if it goes to 50 or 60, it goes to recent lows 3 or 4. So that's what I see. Now, that is not the end. It doesn't mean Bitcoin was a hoax. Whatever survives, like Amazon and the .coms in the early 2000s crash, will then boom. It'll be much fewer companies. Half of them will go under right away. And they will lead a boom that'll go for all the way into the 2030s. And it'll be like the internet on a 20-year lag, I call it. So Michael Turpin and I, we're having a debate. We're going to be agreeing that it's the next big thing. People in the crypto industry cannot see this shakeout because they're in the industry and they don't study other cycles like I do. You think anybody in the .com industry thought they could go down 95% when they bubbled up and looked like the greatest thing in history? Nobody saw that coming. So that's what I get from studying cycles.
Well, cycles and bubbles, you certainly have been studying and predicting them for some time, but really, if the forecast for stocks and for crypto is a crash, where would you be telling investors to put their money now?
Yeah, and again, crypto is not correlating with gold as an inflation hedge, not correlating as a safe haven asset like high quality bond. It's correlating with the stock bubble. It's just way bigger. So what you have to do, you have to get out of all these bubbles. And you know what? Everything, real estate's in a second bubble, tech stocks in a second bubble, all stocks are in a fourth bubble. So, and Bitcoin is the biggest. So you have to get out of this, and there's only 3 places to go. Cash, that's just simply preserve and not have to deal with volatility. The best place is the longest dated treasury bonds, the safest stuff that will not default no matter what. US, no matter how much trouble you get, they can print money to pay these bonds if they have it. They will not default on these bonds, and they will be the safe haven as they were at the worst of the 2008 crash. And I want the 30-year, not the 10-year, because there you lock in rates before they go to zero longer and you make more money. I think those bonds could go up 30, 40, 50% in this crash, while stocks go down 70, 80, 90, and real estate 50 in this stuff. The second thing you do, the easiest way to also make money is just to some degree, depending on your risk tolerance, be unleveraged short stocks. You just buy the SH instead of the SPY for the S&P, or the SQQQ instead of, you know, I'm not the SQ, the PQQQ, I think it is. You just want to be single unleveraged short stocks, some percent. It might be 10, 20, 50% of your risk taker, and play that way. Because the one certain thing in this bubble crash, stocks will go down, and they will go down the most, except for Bitcoin. Only thing that'll beat stocks, I'm predicting stocks will be down close to 90%, and Bitcoin will be down more like 95. So those are the things, and you can't, I don't know if you easily short Bitcoin. So short stocks, but the main thing, long, high quality bonds. And if you're just scared to death and don't know what to do, and don't know if I'm right or Peter Schiff, then just be in cash, you know?
Well, Harry, they are certainly some big calls, and we wouldn't expect any less from you. Thank you for the warnings, and also some tips there as well for people to looking where to put their cash. And all the best for the year ahead. Hope your money's safe.
Okay, don't miss the debate, you know, on the 28th in Australia with Michael Turpin and me. He is the ultimate insider in the crypto, and I'm the ultimate outsider. And so that's what's going to make this debate so cool.
And if you would like to hear more from Harry Dent, he will be appearing with Michael Turpin for the Great Bitcoin Debate. The complimentary live stream event is free to attend on Thursday, the 28th of January. So please head to greatbitcoindebate.com and register for free. And from our end, thank you for watching. If you would like to hear more, please send us an email or drop us a comment to tell us what you think. Will you be buying Bitcoin, and at what price? Be sure to subscribe to TCN TV for more ideas to empower.